welcome to another series review. Today we're taking a look at Sonic Prime Season 3. Season 3 of Sonic Prime has dropped so soon. They've been bashing out these seasons like, I don't know, they're keeping them coming. However, the third is the final one of the franchise. It is the final season for Sonic Prime, which is a little bit disappointing. However, they called it the final season. However, there is a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end, which could lead into a season 4 if they really wanted to, but I'm not too sure on if they will do that. However, this season picked straight up where the last one left off, and it does have one less episode than the other seasons. The other two seasons had 8 episodes, this one only had 7, and I know I only did the Sonic Prime Season 2 review a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, Season 3 came out, so I'm ready and I'm primed to talk about it. So, how Season 3 starts is obviously 9 has just left with the crystals to the Grim to make his own world, and all the other worlds are collapsing. So we have the Ghost Hill collapsing, and Shadow and Sonic are trying to escape Ghost Hill, running around trying to find their way out, and they leave through a rift, and they head to the Grim, and they go through a rift in the Grim, which is a sort of crack in the side. They slide in there, and they are fighting 9 and his army of robots. He brings like a robot Shadow, a robot Amy, robot Knuckles, robot Bird, and robot Rouge. So all of those are now chasing after Sonic and Shadow. Sonic then gets yeeted through the rift again by Shadow, while Shadow stays in the Grim to fight off the robots. The Birds chase Sonic, who then goes to New York to gather allies and gather groups and resources. They then get everyone from New York, save them all, take them to, obviously, the Yoke in the center, which is the Eggman's mansion, the Eggman's house, where there's sanctuary, there's safety, and they're bringing everyone there. The Jungle People are there, the pirates are there, well, some of the pirates, not all of them, and all the people from New York are there. They then end up going to the pirate world to get the last few pirates who are stranded there and who 9 is currently trying to trap and kidnap to get a hold of Sonic, because he needs Sonic. Sonic is the one that he needs to finish this crystal, to finish the sort of power, because Sonic has that prism energy inside him that 9 needs to finish his world and to stabilize the crystals. We then have them going back to New York, and then Sonic giving himself up, going to the Grim so then he can save everyone else. Then everyone comes to the Grim as well to back up Sonic and be like, hey, you saved our asses so many times, we're going to return the favor and we're going to save you. So it goes on a little bit of a back and forth. The Sonic team gets the upper hand, then 9 gets the upper hand, and then Rouge comes up with another plan. 9 foils it by making a massive Big the Cat robot, which then the 2 Pirate and Jungle Tails die, and then we have Sonic getting angry. They go back and forth a bit. They come back and take over the giant Big. We then have Knuckles and Sonic fighting against 9. We have Shadow coming back, and there's just a massive brawl for like 4 or 5 episodes. We then have the Grim shrink to like this last bit. Everywhere else has been destroyed, and this is the last part of reality, and everything that falls outside this bubble instantly dies. So we then have our characters sort of call truce, and 9 says the only way to save it is if we have a sacrifice. So Sonic sacrifices himself to save everyone. He is still alive, but he's slowly back to the future and fading away, and the only way to fix it is to get him back to Green Hill. So Shadow runs him to Green Hill, everything's back to normal, everything's good. He relives the start of the Season 1, but instead of smashing into the prism, he smashes into the Eggman robot. They defeat Eggman. All's good, happy days. Season ends with a giant blue explosion, with them getting ready to attack something. So I'm assuming something's come at the end of that season, ready to attack Sonic. Maybe it's the Egg people trying to take over the multiple dimensions. I don't know what's happening, but something is attacking Green Hill. Unfortunately, Silver never showed up. I had big predictions for Silver to show up in the final, but he never did, which was quite unfortunate. It was very interesting to see Nine as the bad guy. I thought it was really cool and clever. They've been setting up Nine to do this big betrayal for the past 2 seasons, and it finally paid off. And I think it was really interesting to see Nine be the villain, to see Tails play this villainous role, which he doesn't normally do. He's always like the sidekick. So seeing him as this villain is really interesting and really unique. I really like how unique every character is. There is 3 different Rouges, 3 different versions of Amy, 3 different Knuckleses, and they're all fighting on the same team, but they all have their unique personality. They're all the same person, but they all have their different personality and movesets, which make it really interesting and really cool to watch when they're all fighting together. Seeing all 3 Knuckles fight back to back to back with their different voices, their different personalities, and their different sort of fighting styles is really cool to see. And I just thought it was really interesting how they did that. And we never really saw all of them together until now. So it really sort of brings that juxtaposition-ish. Don't know if that's the right word, but shows their differences and shows their strength. And it is really cool to see that. The animation is flawless as usual. They mix the video game and the shows together. We have the robots from Sonic Boom making an appearance here, but we also have the game sound effects, the game music being played here, all remixed to play here, but you still have that nostalgia in the background. And the animation style is again beautiful. I said it in the other 2 Sonic Prime videos, so I'm not going to get too deep into the animation or the visuals or the voice acting. But again, it is all still on point. They managed to keep it up. They also bring Jacksepticeye back, who was in the first season, for the last season, the last couple of episodes. He played a big part in the rebellion against Nine, and he was really badass and he was really cool. It was really nice to see him again. I was watching it and I was like, they're rescuing everybody from all the different worlds. I wonder if they actually got Jacksepticeye back to film his voice. And they did, and I was so surprised to see it. But it was really interesting to see the contrast with the color schemes of the Grim, which is very reds and oranges and very dark colors, compared to when Sonic goes home to Green Hill and it's all bright and colorful. Again, colors playing a very important role here with how distraught the battlefield is, how destroyed it is, and then having a very happy upbeat ending with Sonic returning to Green Hill. We also had Sonic fading, which again looked very brutal, looked very grim, a very grim ending for him. But we had Shadow save the day, Shadow step up. And with Shadow, I really expected him to be in this season a lot more, with it being, the final fight. But again, they cut him out for half the season. He was in the first 2 episodes, he was in the last 2, and then they cut him out for the middle ones again. They did the same thing the last 2 seasons. They cut him out the middle. I miss my boy Shadow. I love him. I wanted Shadow to be more involved, but he wasn't. And that's my only nitpick I have with this. Shadow wasn't as involved as he could have been. They cut him out for the middle episodes and brought him back for the last 2 and the first 2. It's so annoying. Shadow's my favourite. I wanted him to be a little bit more in there, a little bit more involved. But Nine was a very good villain. I liked seeing Nine as the villain. He had this very menacing sort of crazed mad scientist vibe to him, which was really cool. We also had everyone arguing because we had the Eggmen and all the gang on the same team. So having them bickering and arguing whilst fighting alongside each other and seeing them sort of evolve and grow as a team and work together a lot better as the fight went on was really interesting and really nice to see. Seeing that bond grow, which inevitably in the end got destroyed because the Egg people turned their back on Sonic and tried to double cross them all while Sonic was weak. Inevitably got flawed and destroyed by their own egos and fighting each other, which is as to be expected. But I really enjoyed this season. It was a really good final. I am happy with how it ended. I'm glad that they didn't drag it out any more than they did. I felt like the final fight was really dragged out. I know they took an episode away, but I would have preferred if they took 2 episodes away, because I felt like the fight went on for so long. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong. I liked how they were constantly one-upping each other, but it just felt like it dragged way too long. If you took off 20 minutes, I probably wouldn't have noticed the difference. if like you skipped 2 episodes, you could have probably seen no difference. We did see Sonic do take the L as well. Another Fortnite dance that he did here, he did the floss in the first one. He did take the L in this one. So Fortnite dances are still making an appearance in popular media. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid ending. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I would watch it again, but it did have its flaws with its... I felt like they dragged out the fight and some of the other things that I mentioned. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. If you want to check out my other show reviews, there is a playlist on the channel which you can go check out. Or if you do want to check out any of my other videos, we are a variety channel. We have a lot to offer here. So you can go check out whatever you want on the channel. Or if you don't want to stay on YouTube and you want to go somewhere else, you can click the link in the description, which will take you to my TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, everything else that I have to offer if you want a little bit more to have price in your life and you want to follow me on some different sort of platforms. So without further ado, that is me done with Sonic Prime. I feel like it's finished now. They left it in a good place, and I hope that they don't drag it out just to make money, which I expect they will because it's Netflix, but I'm done. Bye-bye.